Hey, what's up guys? Tony here, and I am bringing you a commentary. I don't know what's playing in the background right now, but I'm sure I'll find something. I just want to say that my PlayStation has just got a brand new hard drive in it, and it has been kind of a bitch of a process, to be honest, because here's the thing. Like, I asked my buddy Ryan Dewitz, I asked him, I was like, hey look, I need to get a new hard drive because I don't know about you guys, but I had virtually no memory left on my hard drive, and the hard drive that came with my PlayStation was probably like 120 gig or something like that, and I had out of 111 available gigabytes, I had maybe 5. After I deleted some stuff, I had about 5 gigs, but before that I had pretty much no memory left. And I got to thinking that I'm going to be holding on to my PlayStation 3 for the foreseeable future. And I'm speaking in terms of like the next generation consoles that are coming out, and especially with let's see, Medal of Honor Warfighter coming out, Battlefield 4 coming out for the PlayStation 3, Black Ops 2 coming out here, plus next year's baseball game. You know, the amount of memory that I have on my PlayStation 3 just isn't gonna cut it. You know, my PlayStation 3 is about 2 years old right now, and it doesn't sound like it's very old, but in like, computer terms, it's pretty old. And I think that's where like the gripe of like the console versus PC platform wars are starting. Anyways, I'm not getting into that. The thing though is that what I found out, and I was talking with Ryan about this, is like, I wonder if you can upgrade the hard drive because I'm running out of space. And he's like, yeah, you can. And he actually went and he did it, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or so. And so he's walked me through, and this is the great thing about having friends who are like computer people, because that's what Ryan does for a living. He's a computer guy. Actually, he's a spy, but his cover is that he's a computer guy. And so he walked me through the process, and he's like, yeah, it took, you know, X amount of hours. It was long, and it was boring. It took like a weekend. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I think I'll just do it while I'm sleeping. You know, I'll just run like the backup utility while I'm sleeping, and I'll restore it, you know, in the morning or whatever. You know, it'll take however many hours. And he walked me through like the process of getting a drive. You know, like the process of like, you know, I don't mean like going to the store like, hey, I don't know what to do. He told me that, you know, it's a 2.5 inch SATA drive, which I'm like, okay, I can say that to a sales guy. I don't know what it means, but I can say it, you know, because I'm not a computer guy at all. I mean, it's like, I'm a car guy, I'm a mechanic, I can work on cars, and so when people come in, they're just like, oh, the guy said that my exhaust bearings were messed up, and I'm like, oh god. That's when I was working at a shop. I was like, okay, so I'm a car guy, like a mechanical car guy. I know cars. Computers, I'm that guy who just thinks that computers have memory bearings or something. I don't know. And so anyways, so he told me about the 2.5 inch SATA drive, and then when I went to Fry's yesterday was it yesterday or the day before? Anyways, I went to Fry's, I picked up a new hard drive, and there was these 2 drives sitting right in front of me. One was a 500 gigabyte 5400 RPM Hitachi drive. And for my camera, I have a couple of Hitachi memory cards. It's just old. It's just old. Anyways, anyways, this is one really cool drive. I think it's kind of cool. It's really dated and not very cool, but when I bought it, it was pretty sick. Anyways, so there was that drive for it was $50. $50 for a 500 gigabyte 5400 RPM drive. Well, right next to it was a 750 gigabyte drive, 7200 RPM was the speed, and it was 109. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, is that worth like the extra memory and the speed? And what I had to do is a quick Google search, and I found on the PlayStation forums that the factory drive is 5400 RPM, and if you buy a 7200 RPM, I don't know why I'm having a hard time with these numbers today, but if you buy one that's 7200 RPMs, there's a chance that you could overheat your PlayStation. And the last thing I wanted was a melted PlayStation on my floor, because I had a kick-ass, you know, super fast hard drive. So I opted just to stick with what was factory, and I'm kind of trusting this guy who was posted on the PlayStation forum. You know, I really had a leap of faith there. But for $50, I couldn't pass up a deal. that all went smooth, of course, because I'm just going to the store to buy stuff. But when I went to back up my PlayStation, I tried 3 times. All 3 times the backup utility would cancel at 54% every freaking time, 54%. And oh no, so the first 2 times it would stop at 54%, and then I deleted some things, and then it stopped at 56%. I'm like, oh, progress is being made, but why is it stopping? And of course I had an error code that I didn't write down the first couple times because I just didn't think. I was just like, fuck, why is it stopping? I started again, hoping that maybe the 3rd time through it would just magically go through, but it didn't. So what I did is I jumped on the PlayStation forums, and I didn't really jump on there. I actually Google searched my problem, and I found the PlayStation forums that way. Anyway, so I was reading through that, and I found that someone was just like, oh, if you have this error code, and I finally wrote it down, and I looked it up, and it was like, this error code means that you've got corrupted game data in the game data utility. So go through and delete all your game data utility, and then it should work. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that. Because the guy later, in his post, it was a very comprehensive post. In his post, he tells how the game data utility is just that stuff that you download when you first put your disk in, and so it's necessary to be there, but it's not necessary to back up, because when you put your disk in, it's just gonna put that shit right back on there. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll just delete all that crap. That took forever because that's a lot of information. So I did that, and then I freed up so much space doing that, because it was like, I don't know, it took like 3 hours the first time. It took like 2 hours the 4th time. This is the 4th time now, and it stopped at 30%. I'm like, what the crap is going on? Like, where is the corrupted file? Because that's what the error code is in reference to, is corrupted data. So then what I also had done is they also suggested to delete all of the non-essentials. So all the games that you have downloaded, just delete those, re-download them later, and you're good, because it's in the PlayStation Store, and it's not like you got to buy them again. So I'm like, I'm good with that. I'll re-download all of them, except for DC. I won't re-download DC because it was it's just a mammoth game, and it took like 3 hours to download. So the 4th time, it failed at 30%, and that's like, I was sort of at my wit's end. I'm like, what the hell? And then a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, oh shit, that's right. I got kicked out of DC a couple times, and it would be like corrupt data or whatever. And I didn't want to delete DC because it's massive, and because I have a character that's, you know, a high level, and I spent a lot of time on it. But I bit the bullet and I deleted DC. So now when I was doing I'm actually in the middle of downloading all the Battlefield 3 stuff. I like download Close Quarters again. I can download the Back to Karkin map and all the DLC and everything. So when I was restoring my PlayStation, I was just like, dang, I gotta like delete. I have to just go and get everything again. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in the process of reacquiring things that I have. And actually, you know, what's kind of funny is that when you go through that, and you suddenly just like some things you had on your hard drive, I don't know if you've ever formatted like a computer hard drive or whatever, or an external hard drive. You go through and you format some stuff, and suddenly the things that you're holding on to because you thought they were kind of important, like, I'm not going to need that again. Because I had so many games that, like, they're little games, like they're old, like 90s games or whatever. I never played them. And I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to re-download that crap. You know, maybe I will in the future, but right now, no. Anyways, it's kind of cool to be looking at the available memory and seeing like 400 gigabytes worth of space, you know? It's like, wow, that's a lot. That should last me a while, and I hope it does. So if you guys have any questions, if you're like me and you're in my shoes right now, where you've got virtually no memory left and you have no computer expertise at all, I can help you out as best as I can to walk you through the process. So you guys can hit me up on Skype if you want, or send me a message on YouTube, and or Twitter. Although Twitter's limited to those you know, character limitations. So yeah. So like I said, if you want to get a new hard drive, I can help you out the best as I can. The browser, like the internet, is a very powerful tool, and I don't know everything, and I googled a lot of things. So if you are finding yourself in a tough spot too, if you're in the process of doing what I'm doing, I suggest the internet. It helped me through it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.